Here we are back again with another video. If you saw the last video, you know that I lost $153 trading Tqqq, and that was mainly due to choppy price action. I'll show you that trade. This was that trade, literally garbage, right? Because you can see we ended up going to the objective anyways, but we had to sit through all this nonsense. So today I took a trade that I normally would take, similar setup to previous setups that I've taken, and I want to break it down for you guys. So on QQQ, just like every single day, I'll mark out 15-minute high and 15-minute low to see which side price breaks. Now you could have taken this trade two different ways if you wanted to, but I'll show you the way that I took the trade. The way I took the trade was, first off, waiting for the 15-minute range to be created, essentially. And then we haven't seen this for a while, but this candle right here with the wick that is longer than the body and the top wick combined is our shadow supply setup. I haven't traded this one in a while because I haven't seen it. I've really just been trading off of the orb, which I technically still traded off of the orb this morning, but this setup was one of the main reasons why I took it. So two main reasons I took it: 15-minute shadow supply formed right here with this 15-minute candle. We also went down, swept pre-market low right here. And then third, we got a solid reaction off of that. So we saw a nice push to the upside. We'll go over to Tqqq, what I took it on. Once I saw, also been looking, I kind of back tested this a little bit on the 5-minute and just kind of been looking at different areas of interest. Now you check for areas of interest where this pattern forms, but it's just a bullish engulfing candle. So 5-minute time frame, here's the previous candle, and then a bullish engulfing candle is literally this right here. It doesn't necessarily matter if it starts at the same exact point, in my opinion. If we get that huge push up, obviously buyers are stepping in. So with that being said, once I saw this candle form and that 15-minute shadow supply candle form, I waited for an entry, went down to 2-minute time frame. Pretty much all I did was take my entry after I figured out where my stop loss was going to be, and my stop loss was going to be down here. And that would give plenty of room for price to be able to pull back into this like 2-minute fair value gap right around this area and be able to, bounce off of that. So with that, I took my trade, I took my entry, and then we started to get a push up. I almost hit my TP, and then we came all the way back down. I literally thought I was about to stop out of this trade, but I waited because this happens, and I've seen it multiple times before where price pushes up so aggressively, because you can see right here, price push up so aggressively with no pullback, meaning that there has to be a pullback soon if price is going to continue upwards. Here's the pullback. I don't know how far the pullback is going to go down, but I have my stop loss in place regardless. So we get the pullback and we end up getting support off of the EMAs and then off of the VWAP too. Immediate reaction right out of there. And one thing I want to explain is this is what I was thinking whenever price pulled back. Whenever price pulled back here and I see us moving down, we've already broken structure on the 2-minute, right? Am I worried about my position? Somewhat, yes. But what I'm looking for is I know that somewhere within this area, right? Somewhere within this area, or mainly around my entry price, I was looking for price to bounce. And all you have to do is sit there and watch price action, right? And just watch how it forms. So when we went down right here and we pushed right back up, like immediately, and that's exactly what you want to see. You want to see price get bought back up immediately. If we started to push through this, I probably would have stopped out early before my stop loss, but instead we got immediate reactions off of the zone. So I stayed in, sat back, watched it hit my my take profit, and that was pretty much it. So that was the overall trade. It was a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, and that's how I made, what did I make on this? I want to say $157 on this. So I made back yesterday. Now, yesterday's trade was a 1-to-1 as well, so it technically still evens out back positive on the week. And that just goes to show, right? If you take one loss on the week, or, I don't know, something messes you up, right? Let's say you start negative, or let's say what happened to me yesterday when I took that loss on the week, I was then break even on the week. If you have a losing day, sometimes your mindset can get skewed, and that's what happened to me. But before entering this day, I simply stepped back, right? I told myself, I'm just going to watch and see what happens. And if price starts to make sense to me, if I start to understand why price is doing what it's doing, then I'm going to take a trade. I feel like one of my biggest issues when I first started, and even, 6 months ago even, was that when I would take a loss, that would be in the back of my mind every single trade that I took. So if I took a loss, let's say I took a loss yesterday, I went into today with the mindset that I took a loss and that I have to not make it back, but that I lost last time, so I could lose again. And you can always lose again. But you have to enter the trade with the mindset that regardless of whatever happens, it doesn't matter because I traded my plan, right? So if you have this losing mindset, I'm telling you, you don't even know it's happening. I didn't even know it was happening. I still sometimes don't know what's happening, but I become self-conscious about it and step away from the charts. But when you have a losing day and you go back into the next day with that same mindset, you're going to start looking at the charts and you're going to start seeing things that aren't actually what it's telling you. You're not going to be reading it correctly, if that makes sense. You're going to look at a move. You're going to look at this move right here, and you're going to get, excited about entering a trade. Okay, price is moving down. Let me enter, puts, or let me enter SQQQ to catch the downside. You're going to think these things short term, so that way you can, in your brain, you're winning the money back that you already lost. Just by looking at the charts, thinking to yourself, okay, I lost, we got to make it back, right? But if you step away from the charts and you look at them from a perspective of nothing even happened yesterday. Yesterday is I don't even know. Anything of yesterday is gone from my memory, right? And you enter the charts with that mindset and you just know what you know about the market and you look at price action. Okay, here's a previous high. We rejected off of this, right? Here's pre-market lows. We swept those. The price moved up after sweeping those lows. That makes sense, right? Price rejected off this high. That makes sense. And if you just go back to just the basics, then you're going to do way better than entering the day with a losing mindset. So that's my motivational speech for today. But with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. And just so you know, I wouldn't have been able to take this trade. I wouldn't have been able to hold through this trade if I had that losing mindset. I would have stopped out at break even, right? I would have stopped out down here, stopped out early, whatever, right? But I wouldn't have held until it hit my take profit unless I had just a, nothing matters mindset. Not nothing matters in terms of just, messing everything up. But just nothing matters. Trade the plan and look at the result. That's it. So hopefully that helps you guys in your trading. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.